Hey guys, Chris 4K Motoring here, and today I'm going to do the intro to a problem I've been having with the Corvette that hopefully soon I'll be remedying, but it's going to be kind of an involved process. So I wanted to let you guys know what the issue is, kind of let you know how I found out about the issue and what it looks like, and then let you know what I'm going to do about it. So what has happened here is that, like many of the C5 Corvettes with the heads-up display, mine has developed the falling mirror problem. So when I first picked this car up, it had a visible heads-up display. When I pressed the adjuster button, it would move back and forth, but I had to sit with my seat up very high and very straight for me to even be able to see what the heads-up display was displaying at its highest setting. So I know I'm not that tall of a guy. I kind of figured it was just a me issue, that seats had to be adjusted or something. Got the new Corvo seats and they don't have the up and down adjustment. They're a little higher than what the factory seats would be from the bottom, but they're not as tall as they could be, I guess, is the best way to phrase that. So I was a little concerned when I put them in here that I wouldn't be able to see the heads-up display. And it was a little difficult, just day-to-day driving, to see it. And like I said, it would adjust up and down, it just never seemed to get high enough. I thought it was just a limitation of, you know, my height and my seating position to the car, but I feel like I'm sitting in a pretty reasonable place for the car that it should be able to adjust to me. Well, when I had the windshield replaced, I guess they bumped the heads-up display box that's under there, and that mirror fell a little bit more, and now it still adjusts. I can press the adjuster button up and down and the image does move, but its highest position is way too low. I can see the top of the RPM range, but I can barely even see any numbers on the speedometer. It's not very useful to me, so I definitely think it's a problem. Now, the fix for this actually is not very expensive. It's not expensive at all. Shouldn't be. So what's required is the heads-up display is projected by a mirror that has gears on it that gets adjusted by the motor. And depending on the angle of that mirror, that's what displays the HUD up on your windshield. Well, that mirror hinges on two pins, a bushing and a pin. And it is very common for those little plastic pins, over 20 years of vibration and windshield heat and all the other factors, to break off. So that's what mine has done. And I've watched a couple of videos of people fixing them. Nobody really explains how to diagnose the problem. If it's really bad, you know about it. But mine, I suspect, was already broken when I had the car, and I didn't think much of it. So that's kind of my fault. Until it's too late, you don't really look into it. But this should be able to adjust very high. The heads-up display should be able to adjust well up till it comes out of the visual range for the membrane that's back there. So if yours doesn't do that, then you have a broken mirror. The fix is you have to pull the entire dashboard apart, which, while not difficult, it's all T15s and a couple of Phillips screws, it is very tedious and it is a very involved process. That, fingers crossed, my 20-year-old Corvette won't give me any issues while doing this, and everything will come apart like it's supposed to. I'm not going to break any clips or sensors, and this can be a smooth back and forth process. Well guys, I'm not sure if you guys can see that heads-up display there. It's pretty faint. I'll do my best to kind of zoom in here for you. You should be able to see it move down and then move back up to its position it was in, hopefully. There we go. So you'll see it doesn't come far enough up on the windshield, and it's something that has gotten worse, like I've said. When it started out, there's a range it'll go through. Normally it'll actually work its way all the way up to the top of the range and all the way down to the bottom. So if you have a Corvette, and even if you're able to see the heads-up display, when adjusted all the way up, if it doesn't disappear, then you probably have a broken mirror. That tab is probably broken off of the side and needs repaired, because you're one bump or one, you know, significant jostle away from that mirror falling down to another groove and then never coming up to that high again and progressively getting worse. Gravity will always win. To top that all off, I've been getting messages about my GPS antenna not being plugged in on my infotainment screen. And I know it's not plugged in because I didn't get a GPS antenna. But it gives me that notice every time. It doesn't seem to affect functionality. My phone has GPS and that's what it's basing it all off of. So it seems to work fine. I just have to click through that message every time. And I'd like to stop doing that. So I went ahead and ordered, it was about $10 on eBay, a new GPS antenna for this radio. So when I take the dash apart, I'll go ahead and install that as well. No need to do that twice. So that's what I'm waiting for. As soon as that comes in, I'll bring you guys along, show you guys how to take apart the entire dash and do that fix on that heads-up display. Like I said, if yours is not adjusting till it will basically adjust out of range, then you've got a broken mirror. And it's fixable, just a little screw. It's very easy to actually make the repair once you get to the repair. As always, guys, thanks for watching 4K Motoring. We'll definitely be back with you soon. Please go ahead and like and subscribe and stay tuned.